Hello, thank you for joining us at Goodwin Conversations. I'm Goodwin's chair, Anthony McCusker. Today I'm in our New York office speaking with Konstantin Shishkin, our Chief Marketing and Communications Officer. Kon, thanks for joining us.
I'm thrilled to be here, Anthony. Thanks for having me.
Kind of before we jump into your work that you do with the firm, I understand you were born in St. Petersburg, Russia, and you moved to Indiana, if I have that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, it was very serendipitous. So there was this U.S. government-sponsored program. You could come for a year. And there was this application that we went through. And in the application, you can say sort of where you want to go. So naturally, I chose California.
Yep.
And I guess I wasn't the only one. And like a couple of months later, you get your placement, and it said Centerville, Indiana. And I had to go and look on the map to see where that's at.
It's the California of the Midwest.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
So you went from a massive city, millions of people, St. Petersburg, to Centerville, Indiana. How was that adjustment, that experience? Is there anything you've taken with you out of that?
You know, it's probably one of the best things that happened to me. Like, it just completely blew my mind. Like, it just changed my world, right? When you're 14 and, you grow up in a big city, you're used to one thing, you're used to one culture, you go into a place that is completely different. Like, every aspect of my life completely changed. And it helped me a lot later in life, as I was going through my education, then my professional career, and different challenges that I've dealt with. It was just a really incredible experience.
You now run marketing and communications for the firm, and our firm is different than a lot of firms, and it might be helpful for you to maybe talk for a few minutes about, we separate marketing and communications from client development. Can you maybe talk about the benefits we have on having focuses separate, and how those two areas complement each other?
So about 8 years ago, the firm made a very conscious decision to separate the two departments so we can have more focus on business development and client development, and we can have more focus on marketing and communications. Marketing and comms is kind of like the top of the marketing funnel. It's a brand awareness, what
Sure.
we call demand gen. And then client development is more of the one-to-one touches with clients, right? Responses to RFPs, et cetera. That's more of the lead gen part of the funnel.
Yeah, that's great. Your team, the marketing communication team, has such a diverse set of skills and responsibilities. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the team and the variety of capabilities that we have in our marketing communications group?
The way we think about the department and the way we organize ourselves is into a few what I call key verticals. So one of them is communications, and that's basically all of the external and internal comms. Then we have an editorial group, which basically works with our attorneys to produce all of the original written content for the firm. We have an in-house creative team that does all of our brand, design, copywriting, etc. We have an incredible multimedia team, which is like right behind the cameras here, filming all of this good stuff, and which also does a lot of work with our clients, RFP responses, and really bringing in this new multimedia component into how we communicate with the market. We have a marketing technology and ops team, which does our CRM systems, our websites, our budgets, our processes. And then last but not least, we have an events and conference services team.
What do you think differentiates our brand and makes it compelling to the market?
Well, the other thing that hasn't really changed, aside from our culture and our strategy, is I think like sort of the, what do I call it, kind of the ethos or our animating force, whatever you want to call it, right? But we have this mentality of being an upstart, of being really entrepreneurial, of being a challenger brand. I think that's really powerful and works to our advantage. So, as you know, the legal industry is super competitive. When you think about, the landscape for professional services firms, if you think about the accountant firms, they're the big four. If you think about the banking industry, you have the big banks, right? If you think about the legal industry, there's 100 plus really great law firms, right? If you're in the top 50, it's hard for you to move up market right now. We're in the top 20. So what we do in marketing and communications can make a really huge difference. If you ask me about my why, I would say it's that.
I understand you love to play padel in your free time. Could you tell us a little bit about what padel is? A lot of people aren't familiar with it.
So I probably am not the best person to describe the history of the sport, but
we don't want the whole history.
No, but just like in very basic terms, think about like squash meets tennis. But I'm really banking on this whole, it takes 10,000 hours to get really good at something. I'm probably about 100 hours in, so I have a long way to go.
I understand that you were this summer on vacation in Portugal, and it's a little surprising to me that you tell me you're terrible, because I understand you played with one of the best padel players in the world.
I did. It was a friend of a friend who is actually ranked number 10 in all of Portugal. and number 2 in what they call veterans group, which is basically people over 40. So yeah, it was really humbling to do that and really fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Con, it was great to talk with you. Thank you so much for spending time. And thank you for joining us at Goodwin Conversations.